Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to the Bible Bistro. It's the best one on the internet. Come on in, sit down. Hey, listen, we did a survey, and we asked 10 hostesses in Virginia, Minnesota, who work in restaurants, hosting restaurants, what they thought about Daily Dose Radio, the Bible Bistro, and they said, well, if they had the opportunity, they would love to work here. So this is a good place. Come on in, sit down, and we're going to serve up some fresh and delicious Bible study today. Looking at Psalm 14, we're going to read verses 5 and 6. And yesterday I teased you. I said we were going to look at what the result was or what the end was for those who don't call upon the name of the Lord, yet they eat God's people like they're eating bread. Those folks, they're in trouble, and we're going to find out about that trouble today. Notice verse 5, and I'm going to read from my translation. There they shall surely be in dread, for God is in the generation of the righteous. The counsel of the poor you have shamed, for the Lord is his refuge. All right, here we have the destination of those who are the wicked, those that are the fool, those that don't seek after God and yet wholly turn aside from him. This is the destination of every single one of us unless we come to saving faith in Christ. Here it is, verse 5, there they shall surely be in dread. What is this dread? It is hell. It awaits. Death is not the end, but there is a punishment that is coming, a judgment from God. And those that are foolish and those that turn aside, which is all of us, we're going to be punished and judged, and as I said, unless we come to faith in Christ. Notice that we have two being statements about the Lord here. And they're the second phrase in each of these couplets, verses 5 and 6. The first phrase here in verse 5 tells us about the destination, the dread of those who do what we've had in 4, 3, and 2, also in 1. Now we come to the second phrase in 5, and notice this. God is in the generation of the righteous. So you see, if he's not with these people, but he's with another group, the righteous, or his people, then surely it is a dreadful place to go where God is not present. And that's what hell is all about. God is in. Notice I said it's a being statement, for God is. And we have it again in the second clause of verse 6. For the Lord is. This being statement tells us something about it. It's a reflection of, it's a positive reflection of the negative happenings there in the first clause in 5. In that first clause in 5, they're in dread. And they're in dread because, what we find out in the second clause is the first being statement, God is in the generation of the righteous. He's not with those who behave foolishly. He's not with the fool. He's not with those that are completely turned aside and morally corrupt. All right, verse 6, we have similar statement. The counsel of the poor you have shamed. Now, who's he talking about? He's talking about these that we've been discussing, the state of man, this corruption, this moral depravity that's living inside the hearts of men. And so the counsel of the poor you have shamed. So not only have they eaten the people like bread, God's people like bread, but they've shamed the poor because why? Because they're poor? I guess. Because they can? Probably. Because they're wicked in heart? Absolutely. And we know that this is what the wicked does. They go after the poor, the hapless, the innocent. That's their prey. And because they've done that, look at the second being statement there in verse 6. For the Lord is his refuge. Not only is the place of your destination godless because he's not going to be there, he's not going to be with you, but the Lord is against you because he is for those that you have shamed, that you have pursued. Now tomorrow we'll look at verse 7. I hope you'll join me then as we take a look at the salvation of Israel. Join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.